Secretary Austin approved a temporary Department of Defense increase of an additional 1,500 military personnel to supplement U.S. Customs and Border Protection efforts on the U.S. southwest border.
I believe that it is inappropriate to require the limited resources of the United States military to be used in such a way.
It is my testimony that the border is secure, and we are working every day, day and night, to increase its security.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man,
No bullshit! Just breaking this. No more bullshit! No more bullshit!
That is just so fraudulent. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, saying the border is secure. That is insane. Title 42, the COVID era policy begun under Trump, where all asylum seekers have to wait in Mexico because it's a public health crisis. That thing now expires tonight, midnight, and they're here. They've been here. We're setting records. We set a record last year. This year's breaking last year's record. We have a tidal wave of humanity. You guys, we got some video from yesterday, and we've got Poncho Ortiz of Breitbart. He's working. He's graciously agreed to join us, and he's in Brownsville, across from Matamoros. But I got these yesterday from some friends. Mark, can you roll those for me? And if you're listening, we'll just describe it to you. That's the Rio Grande, and this is shot from Mexico. And what do you see in there? A dozen, 20 people made the banks of the United States. And in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know if you can see it, Karen, in red, right where Mark's got the cursor, that's National Guard.
Oh, wow.
And they're not doing anything.
And there's the barbed wire right there on the other side. So, yeah.
So up on the bluff, there's barbed wire, and behind that is the National Guard. So the point here is a wall doesn't work, because once you touch that bluff, whether there's barbed wire or not, that's American soil. You're here. So I've been called, they got a new thing today that they're talking about, the Biden administration, where if you're a family, you're coming in, and we'll see some more pictures of that in a moment. But if you're a single adult, you're going to be deported if you came in through a second country. If you didn't come directly from America, from your home country, let's say you're Venezuelan, and you crossed from Mexico, and you didn't apply for asylum in Mexico.
So no second generation entry.
Right. So it's called the safe third country, right? That shit we have with Canada that I was telling you about. Like, why don't we have that with Mexico? So good luck getting Mexico to take them back. We're going to have to actually bring them in, process them, issue them a deportation order, and then fly them home. Now, Mark, play some more of this. We'll ask Poncho. He knows better than I do. But when I was down there, we'll play that later, how easy this is. There's got easily 500,000 people on the border or on their way towards it as we speak. 500,000. They're anticipating 20,000 people a day. We can see... This must be looking at Mexico again, because those look like American trucks. There's the barbed wire, I believe.
So what does all this mean, Charlie?
What is that, 100 people? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, when people see this and they hear it, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean for the average American when we're sitting back watching this? When people say, so what? What is it? What difference does it make?
Well, look, they don't have money.
Right.
A lot of them don't have education. They're going to need food. They're going to need housing. Yep. They're going to need shelter. This medical care. We're already broke. And I don't care what the New York Times says, because they don't get off their asses. They're not out there. Like, if you really want to tell me that this is because of the pandemic really hit Latin America hard, or violence there, or a recession, this was caused by the words uttered from the White House. It started with Obama. The first wave was, remember DACA, the Deferred That's kids
The
that were
dreamers.
raised here, and they are citizens, in my opinion. But when he said amnesty for them, everybody throughout the hemisphere hears amnesty, period. Boom. That begins it. When Biden says he's going to get rid of the remain in Mexico, he's going to get rid of Title 42, don't blame the cartels. Because if you go actually talk to human beings that are making this journey, and I'll say it again, I would. I'm not happy about this, but I would do. They're hearing it's open.
Right.
That's unsophisticated governance.
But I wanted you to just clarify that a little bit, because the last major thing where people seem to be so concerned was when Trump was talking about building a wall, keeping them out. What does that mean? So as we hear, Biden throw out these spurts, oh, this is, the border secure, or this is what does that mean? So that's what I wanted you just to clarify. So when people hear that, there is some point of clarity, for lack of another word, of what's happening and the impact that it can and will have on this country.
And we'll get to Poncho because he'll be there, but like the tons of fentanyl coming in. Mark, play some more of those, please. When you see groups like this, when you see that's easily a few hundred. This goes far back. They got a rope from the Mexican side of the Rio Grande River to the American side, and they're using it as a zip line to pull
as a guide,
pull the rubber raft. It looked like a Grateful Dead show here. Look, everybody got tents and barbecuing.
They're prepared.
Guys walking around selling cigarettes. The shoes are clean. Everybody's got a smartphone. Some people are wearing designer jeans. There's a guy with the cigarettes. Entrepreneur, you're going to like that guy. We can use guys like that. Look at all the kids.
Lots of kids.
The surest way to do, if you're listening throughout the world, the surest way to do this is bring your kids, because we are letting you in. It's 100% guaranteed.
Wow.
And there's the Mexican federal immigration agents, just parked. They're not even armed.
That's the secure part.
That's what I was going to say. That's what they mean by it's secure. They've got presence there.
The borders are secure with security.
Well, I'm not going to blame them. I mean, it makes sense because you don't want people beating up on each other.
I understand, but then don't say that though, or clarify it. Be specific, be accurate, be honest. We have a presence there.
Look at that. That's like
it's a lot of people.
That's 100 people easy.
And I just want to say this for some folks that may not understand the impact at the level of life you may be at, that construction worker, that labor worker, that fast food worker. When this kind of flood is happening, they get jobs. They end up taking job positions, and a lot of dollars are being made that come out of your pocket. Those positions open for you because they'll work a little cheaper so they can survive. Like you said, they coming over here with no money,
you owe the
barely
cartel.
educated. They help each other out, which, you're going to do the human thing, but it does make an economical impact on the lower levels when it's a flood like this, because that's jobs that's going to be lost.
But are they lost though, Red? I mean, we've been talking about so many entry-level positions that have not been occupied. So will they simply fill the positions that other people don't want, which is what we tend to hear?
Well, I'll say this. At a time when inflation's running wild and the Federal Reserve is trying to get rid of jobs, they're trying to tamp down the economy, right? And you're going to import more labor at the same time you're trying to get rid of jobs. And then there's, there's the cultural aspect of it. Like, how much do you take at one time? Human beings are human beings.
Right.
How many people, this wave now equals the height of Ellis Island.
Wow. That's a lot.
And that was a 62-year period. So this is just, and we don't, 200 terrorists, people on the terror list, they've apprehended this year.
Including the guy from Dearborn that they didn't.
Yeah, and what happened to him?
him?
You can't. You knock on the door, he's not there. Like, you just
forget about it. Yeah.
I don't know. I call for orderly immigration.
Yeah.
Well, they won't do it though. It's too much. They can't do it. They don't know what to do with it.
They caused it, dude. They caused it. They're
right.
morons. And then you're out there telling me it's secure, right? We're not sending the military. We are sending the military. Get the fuck out of here. You know what the military is? They're Uber. Here, let's go to Poncho Ortiz in Brownsville. Hey, can you hear me, Ponch?
Hey, Charlie. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure
man.
here.
Really, really appreciate you coming on. What are you seeing there, man? Where you at?
Well, I'm here at the in Brownsville. I'm right outside of the bus station. Behind me is a parking lot that has been converted into a processing center of sorts. So pretty much every 20 minutes or so, there's these white buses that keep pulling up. Each one is full of people. They're just dropping them off into the processing center. They just do a little bit more paperwork, and then they're releasing them into this area. So pretty much all morning long, people have just been walking out here trying to purchase tickets on the next bus out of here, or try to get some food items and so forth. The bus station is full of people right at this point, and people are sleeping in the streets. It's a little bit of a chaos. I mean, the city officials are claiming to be trying to do the best they can to manage the situation, but I grew up in Brownsville. I had never seen something like this.
Like, it looks like over your left shoulder, all the way down the avenue against the wall there is is that true? Is it as far as the eye could see? Just sitting there?
Yeah, I mean yes, yeah. I mean, people are outside of the processing centers. There's more people coming in. The buses just keep pulling up with more people. So pretty much, it's been nonstop since I got here this morning.
And it's not even begun yet. I mean, once midnight hits, you think tomorrow that size of those crowds will double?
It'll be even more craziness. I mean, right now there's from my sources in Mexico, just south of us in Matamoros, there's thousands of people right on the banks of the river. They have a migrant camp out there, primarily of people from Venezuela, which, with the whole Title 42 thing, that's a sticky situation because, when Title 42 was ended, they were returned to Mexico. However, once you take off the Mexican factor, you have nowhere to return these people from Venezuela to, because the U.S. and Venezuela are not really talking to each other at this point. So it makes it a difficult situation for all these people. And, pretty much people are just here getting dropped off. And as far as from the people that I talked to, they told me that, once they're released, they made it. So that seems to be the message that's getting out there.
Huh. So you've talked to people from Venezuela. I have as well. A lot of the people that want asylum that are Venezuelan didn't come from Venezuela. They would be living in Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, right? And for a number of years, quite frankly.
That's right. Some of them, they made their way. Took them months. Some of them were already living in Mexico or in other places. Some of them basically they had already settled in other locations until notice was that, hey, we can make it to the U.S. And that's when some of them began their journey.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, asylum is it's pretty much that you're being persecuted by your government. Mm-hmm. It doesn't really have to do with poverty or, like violence in your neighborhood. That would mean like America's big cities, we're entitled to go to Toronto, right? I mean, it's supposed to be religious persecution, sexual persecution, political.
Economic persecution.
Well, that would be, unfortunately, that would be like 3/4 of the planet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not what asylum's about. Hey, Poncho, what did you hear about the trial balloon that Biden's floating in terms of if you cross from a second country, let's say you're from Nicaragua, and you make your way through Mexico, that they're going to deny parole or an asylum hearing, they're going to deport you. Are you seeing that at all, or is that just talk from Washington?
No, that seems to be talk from Washington at this point. I mean, I just keep seeing people over here being released. Everybody's happy. They consider that they've already made it. So now they're just basically trying to continue their journey north. But now, since most of these people here behind me have been released with notices to appear in court, basically they have a date in like 2026,
Wow.
2025. So they are pretty much home free at this point.
So, I mean, what happens to if they don't have friends, if they don't have family, Poncho, what would be the plan? Like, what do they do? How do they survive? What happens after this? They've made it, but made it where and how?
Well, most of the people I talk to know somebody or have somebody, either a friend or relative or somebody up north that's waiting for them. So they already have somewhere to go
To
to.
go. Okay.
And then the people that it's kind of it's a bit deceitful because when they tell them, here's your notice to appear in court, according to the government, those people are considered to be in removal process, but they're actually released. And that's sort of the catch-22 there, because government official will tell you, oh, we have so many people in removal proceedings, but in reality, they've been released with a notice to appear in court, in a year, 2 years, or 3 years from now.
I mean, who's going to remember court dates in 2025?
No one's looking for you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. By 2025, everybody's going to be on to something else. They're going to be on to something else. The government, it'll just be a moot point.
Hey, Poncho, to date, just say since Biden took office, what's your estimate of the amount of people that have made their way, however, like got away, been processed and released? How many people are here since the beginning of 2021? New people.
That's a tough number. Depending, I've spoken with people in DC, people in here in Texas. We're talking about maybe 4 million people, 3 million, but it's an astronomical figure.
And how many? Just you, man, because you're the world expert. You really are, dude. And thank you so much for being here. How many do you anticipate? Say the rest of this year just alone. How many are we going to see? How many people a day are we going to see?
In Mexico, I'm hearing astronomical numbers all over the place. The issue is that Mexico's immigration police are not doing anything to stop this. Actually, Mexico's government is giving them travel permits. When they get to the southern border, everybody that gets in there, they're getting 45-day travel permits for them to get out of the country. So instead of Mexico dissuading this way, they're actually encouraging. So I'm just seeing that, pretty much this is a battle where the U.S. is on its own. Mexico's not helping at all. And, Mexico's the southern, the neighbor to the south. And literally, I haven't seen Mexico pretty much do anything. On the other hand, I've actually seen some corrupt Mexican immigration customs officers that are actually profiting from this. They're actually selling other types of permits and other preparation treatment. We've actually exposed several of these individuals that they've just been making a killing out of all this. So as far as, a figure, I mean, this is going to grow exponentially. It's not ending. The message that keeps getting south, down to Central America and so forth is that, come over, you're going to get released with papers. That's the message that's getting back.
Here's what I'm hearing. Like 2 days ago, the official number from Border Patrol was 10,000 people. They're anticipating 20,000. Could be more than that. 20,000 a day times 30 days is 600,000 in 1 month.
Wow.
In 2020, the number was 350,000 or so for the year. Is that correct?
You're correct. They're looking at about 20,000 people per day now. However, that figure, it could be more than that, since they have to also look at the gotaways, because the number of gotaways, which is something that the government has been trying to hide. What gotaways are is the number of people that Border Patrol believes that they could have encountered between ports of entry, but they were not able to capture. So the people that they're capturing right now are the ones that are literally turning themselves into authorities, at the river. They're not the ones that are trying to hide and get around them. That's the issue there. And since Border Patrol is so overwhelmed, so understaffed, and pretty much most of the agents are at processing centers, they're not out there in the field. They're out there. Most of them are in processing centers. There's some areas, west of us where, you'll have only a handful of agents per several miles of river or fence. And that's some of the concerns that agents have relayed to us, that, there's areas that are unpatrolled, so they don't even know what or who is crossing through those areas.
Well, you can bet your ass, man. It's a good portion of them are felons, people that have been deported before, known criminals, dope smugglers, the couple hundred terrorists. You know what I mean? If it's so easy. Look at that. A bus pulled up, A couple hundred more people just got off. You can see them cross the street. Why wouldn't you do it that way? It's nice and easy. Come into this garage, have a cup of coffee. Here's a paper. Get yourself a hamburger. Get on the bus. Sayonara. So those that they're not even capturing. You got any more of that video, Mark? Just the group getting ready at this by the river. Like if you see that, okay, you can't see it, Poncho, I don't think. But here's a group of 100, 200 people. Once they all go together, that takes all the resources in that sector to process them, line them up, get their names, make sure they're not carrying contraband, weapons. And then you go a mile down and it's wide open, right, bro? That's how you can smuggle shit in here.
That's correct. That's pretty much, and that's actually a strategy that smugglers have been using for a long time, and they're actually taking full advantage of it right now because they know that Border Patrol will rush to an area where you have all these people. They'll start processing them and everything. So about a mile down the river, they can run drug loads, or they can get the people that, the people that have been previously deported, the ones with a criminal record, and so forth. That is where they're going to cross, and they're going to try to avoid being captured.
So who's not in charge here? I mean, who should be in charge?
Well, and this is something that I say, and this is something that I've heard from officials in D.C., in Mexico City, officials that, here in Texas. The only ones that really have operational control of the border, which is a phrase that D.C. likes to use, the only ones that have operational control of the border are actually the cartels. The U.S. government does not have operational control of this border.
Okay, listen, this is Poncho Ortiz. He writes for Breitbart. He does his own stuff. Poncho, to me, is the on-the-ground expert in this. He really is. When he's telling you that, the cartels run the border. We've capitulated. We're soft and we're stupid, and Mexico's a failed state, and everybody's in the pocket of the cartels.
But he said that before when we've talked to him in the past, Charlie. So that's not a new statement. It's a reiteration of what we already know.
But we're saying again, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a reminder.
Holy fucking, what a disaster, man. They estimate that a third of females that make this trip get raped. This human trafficking. We lost 85,000 kids, like when it's just kids, right? And we're trying to find their family or a place for them. Border Patrol's got to let them go in 3 days, right? And they give them to the Department of Health and Human Services. And they get sponsors, volunteers. And they only check on them with one phone call. 85,000 kids have been lost.
So that
completely lost. They're working in slaughterhouses. They're, they're getting abused.
So that makes the government guilty of trafficking.
Our government is helping the cartels traffic children.
Okay, I just want to say that because that's exactly what that is.
And again, I got nothing but love for humanity. Like I know I made this trip a couple times. I know those people. I would do it. I don't think it's right, and I don't like it because just Tuesday here in Detroit, right by the Coney, was Naturalization Day, swearing in people that, worked their 20 years to get this, the hard-earned suit, and they got family. People that work at the Coney have family in Yemen, the poorest country on earth, the one that's actually at war. And they can't get their aunts, their uncles, their parents over here. Everything's been jumped.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a saturation at a large rate. It's just coming. It's like pouring a whole cup of water out at once.
Well, what, buddy? And we can't, fuckheads in Washington can't even get it together to raise the debt ceiling.
I know. That's the whole thing, is that you're burdening an already broken and dysfunctional system.
Yeah, because you spoke on the DHS. What can you really expect them to do when it was already a broken system before this?
With DHS, what are you talking about?
Child and Human Resources.
DHS is Department of Homeland Security.
No, I'm
Health
sorry.
and Human Services.
Health
HHS.
and Human Services.
Yes.
What can you expect them to do when they were already broken?
Fake it.
That's really, the system didn't work for our kids here as is. It was overloaded, understaffed.
It's inept. It's not. No, it's just inept. I mean, that's not. It doesn't have to be that way.
Let's go back to Poncho. Hey, Poncho.
Yeah.
They're going to bring 1,500 troops. Have you seen them yet?
Well, the only ones that I've actually seen out here would be your Texas Guard and your Texas State Troopers that are out here. They're actually on the river trying to hold off people. They've actually put barbed wire on the river, actively trying to do something. As far as the other ones, the National Guard that would be sent down here, they're actually going to do more of a clerical role, trying to help with the processing and stuff.
Processing.
At the center.
Processing, right?
Yeah,
they're here to drive and process.
That's right. They're going to be assisting Border Patrol to basically take care of all these people.
Shit. All right. Well, here, dude, you can hang or we'll let you go. I know you got work to do. But you'll stay in touch with us, right? I know you're probably going to stay there tonight. Are you going home to McAllen? What are you doing?
I'll be all over the border, because I'm also expecting a jump in traffic in the McAllen area. All over the border this is the key here is this. Nothing crosses that river or that border without one of the drug cartels, the dominant one in that area, giving permission and making a profit. So for them, this is a boom. So they're going to be active all over the border.
But nobody's watching them either, so it doesn't matter. Like, they are the oversight for all practical purposes.
God, they made billions of dollars. The average cost to get over is about $5,000. If you're talking 5 million people, what is that? Is that 25 billion? Is that correct?
Yeah. Come on, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie,
a lot.
Just to give you just one little number game here. In the city of Reynosa, to cross from Reynosa to McAllen, Texas, the Gulf Cartel charges, depending on where they're from $300 to $800. Now, multiply that by the number of people that we're seeing here a day, and that just gives you an idea of the profit behind all this.
That's just crossing the river.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the
just
last
the
part.
river, not even from where they started the journey or anything. Just for across that river.
Wow. What a debacle, man. Everything's so fucked up.
It really is. At every level. That's the bad part about it. There's not even anything good to hold on to in terms of, it's not. Everybody's slack. Everything's screwed up.
Poncho, I wanted to ask you a question because Raul Ortiz, the chief of the U.S. Border Patrol, came out and said, hey, this increase over this past week, this is the surge. After May 11th, we're not going to see this numbers. And I just wanted your opinion on that.
Well, the problem is, that's his estimate. The issue is the numbers of people that are in border cities like Matamoros, Reynosa, Laredo, and so forth that keep coming. People are coming. The Mexican government has moved more agents to the southern border to issue those 45-day permits. So, that may be his estimate on the people that are crossing, but he's not looking at the people that are still in the journey, plus also the people that are in Central America making their way north. That's a heavy number of people also. So this is not something that's going to stop, and, we haven't seen the worst. We actually just seen the beginning of all this.
Man, and we have an agreement with Canada.
Mm-hmm.
If people are trying to get in the United States from Canada, no, you got to take them back, and vice versa. If they're trying to get in Canada from the United States, they got there first, bro. We don't have such an agreement with Mexico. There's no way to make Mexico take the people back. So as Poncho's saying, if they're from a place that we have hostile relationships with, Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, where are they going? They're going to Chicago. That's where they're going.
Right.
Which, everybody's declaring that all the sanctuary cities now, it's the state of emergency. We're not sanctuary anymore.
Well, do they need sanctuary anymore?
Yeah, the human beings, of course, they need
No,
a
what I'm
place. They
saying
need a place
is-
to.
You mean sanctuary
because-
designation.
You're right, because when they coming in anyway. So what sanctuary do they need now as far as being a sanctuary city safe from being deported? It don't seem like nobody's going to get deported.
But if there's no
time
processing, no paperwork, who knows who's
Right.
Unless they, try to apply for something somewhere and you realize that there hasn't been any formal validation of their entry. Who knows who's here?
And they'll try to stop me now, be asking for papers. That's not the American way. So,
It's
that's,
called a driver's license. You get pulled over. It's a paperwork.
yeah, that's if you're driving. But if I'm
Yeah.
walking down the street, you're not entitled to.
Right.
All right, Poncho, brother. Good luck there, man. I'll call you later tonight. See what the hell's happening.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Charlie.
Thank you, dude. Poncho Ortiz.
Thank you.
Man. All right. Let me take care of some business here. You got Luke Nowacki lined up there? I should have told you that, but I just love that bit.
I don't.
Well, start doing it while I tell you about it. Can you do it?
Yeah.
I was talking to Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth, 248-663-4748, just about the inflation numbers, like what he saw with inflation. He goes, it's terrible. I mean, it didn't move. And okay, it was 9% at its peak, but it's still 5 years higher than it was last year, 5% higher than last year. And last year was 7% higher than the year before. And it's not getting better. Mm-hmm. And the feds are going to keep raising interest rates in order
to keep easing them up.
Right. To push down wages, to push down work, put people out on their ass so they don't have money to spend. And then we got a lot of people coming in. And Mark's got it. He's inserting.
I do think the video fits now after that uplift.
Go on.
This message of Uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial advice.
The spring buying season's here, so home inventory is on the rise and rates have leveled off and at their lowest they've been in months. So if you think, yes, do it. I think the feds have held on their rate increases. So if you think it might be time to buy, the first call you need to make is Hall Financial. They have a ton of great programs right now that can save you money off your rate and even help with down payment assistance. Look at that one. If you're thinking about spring or summer renovations or a second home up north, take advantage of the equity in your house now. Go call hallfirst.com to get started for Hall's above and beyond 5-star service just for our listeners, or call 866-CALL-HALL and make sure to tell them we sent you. I had this idea with Legacy Partners. I was putting in my garden yesterday evening, and I opened the garage door to get some gardening tools, and there's my Harley. And the Harley hasn't been registered and insured since 2019, right? COVID, you couldn't get the shit, and then whatever, I just didn't. And I want get my bike, so I need insurance. It's not insured, so I'm thinking, why don't we just call Alex? That's his number. I have my insurance agent's number. 586-209-4106 is the desk. 586-209-4106, Legacy Partners.
But you have the personal number.
Yeah, he'll give it to you too. This is how you get him. I'm not going to put it out.
I believe it. He called me back on a Saturday. That shocked me.
I'm going to give him a challenge.
Why don't you text him?
No, because that's not good radio.
No, to let him know that you're going to call him so he can clear.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Alex, it's Charlie. Oh, here, let me put you on speaker. How you doing, brother?
Good, about yourself?
I'm real good. Can you hear him?
Yes, I can.
Hey, listen. Now we got about a half hour left in the show. I'm gonna put you to the challenge here. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, I've got an '81 Harley Davidson Sportster. I need insurance on it, and I need a quote, the best quote, and I need it in a half hour. Can you do it?
Got it right now.
I'll call you back. Okay, you got it right now. All right. So this is Byron and I went down to the border, Eagle Pass, and on the other side is Piedras Negras, Black Rock, and we just wanted to show you how easy this is, like the process of like coming in, what you're going to be seeing over the next couple of days. We smuggled ourselves in, see if we were going to get deported. Let's roll that. What am I doing in the middle of the Rio Grande with an ex-con from Nicaragua named Elvis, a guy who can't swim? Let's go back about an hour or so. This is where the smugglers live,
and the migrants who've been deported for whatever reason. And when they're deported, they come back and they end up in this no man's hellhole. All this gets rented to them. It's part of the price. It's a very dangerous place. It's 100 yards from the United States, and they're just waiting to jump. And it's about ready to get worse.
Elvis Moses Moncada stands on a bluff staring greedily into America. He describes himself as an out-of-work laborer who served 5 years in the federal pen for sedition against the Ortega regime. Thus, he says, he is a political refugee.
Porque no Mexico? Mexico is difficult for paper.
I see.
2 years, 3 years.
So he knows that the papers are difficult to get here and there's not a lot of work. It's easier to be there. The papers are difficult, but they're not putting you on. It's easy to find work. So everybody knows. Dude, this is what he's got left in his life. Today's pesos.
Out of money and out of luck, Elvis will have to cross the river himself. The problem is, Elvis can't swim. He watches a group go from the bluff and makes up his mind to go for it.
Ahorita?
Right now?
Right now, he said.
We follow. A surly Mexican official tries to stop us.
Hey,
Huh?
But he has no power.
Texas. Texas. I have to go with them, and he has my business. They will pick me. I will go.
This is not correct, my friend.
He says that's not correct. That's true. But nothing is correct here. About 2,000 migrants cross in this sector every day of every week. And now with the expiration of Title 42, the COVID policy of returning asylum seekers to Mexico set to expire, hundreds of thousands more are expected to flood these banks. Meanwhile, in the gurgling waters of the Rio Grande, Elvis makes his way. The river's escarpment is lined with concertina wire and garbage from tens of thousands before him. About a quarter mile beyond is a great iron fence, but it's useless. Asylum seekers like Elvis need only touch American soil. Elvis scrambles up the riverbank, steps over the razor wire, and before he can gather his bearings, the Texas National Guard is waiting for him as patiently as an Uber driver to shuttle him to his new life.
Turn on your phone!
Turn off your phone. We don't want you seeing this. There it is. That's it.
That's
Multiply that by hundreds of thousands.
And really, do you have the manpower it would take to stop that many people from coming at once in places, in areas like that?
Not if you're going to do it humanely, no.
So it's really nothing.
What you going to do, start uncorking tear gas?
Right.
Excuse me.
That's the level they brought it to.
But if the border were genuinely secured, and if in fact there were a process in place, then yeah, maybe it's backlogged, but it becomes like everything else around here. So
right.
And the rules keep changing because they don't even know what to do.
Yeah, that's true. They don't.
Just keep your mouth shut, man. Joe, sleepy, keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Don't be selling me on like the Europeans tried that. The root causes of poverty, right? Let's go back to the countries and try to rebuild them. Well, the root cause was you were colonialists and you raped it, and everybody's poor, and you're going to go throw a few $1 billion to rebuild it. No, that doesn't work. Now what's Europe doing? Pushing them out.
Pushing them back. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But what does this do? From the global perspective, at some point you got to look at the overall implication of what this is going to have, on not just on this country, but on other countries. Like, what are we doing?
Well, we're getting the poor, the hungry, the tired, aren't we? Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And adding them to the rest of the poor, hungry, and tired.
Right. I don't think their bankers and rocket scientists are doing this. You know what I mean? Prisons are getting emptied out. Asylums are getting emptied out. They are.
And that's
Oh,
there, but then they become part of the economic process here as they go back to the prison system, or as they
Hope not.
Well, let's see.
We'll welcome in and do right. Speaking of which, my buddy White Boy Rick got arrested in Miami on Tuesday. Here, I forget where the story's from, but I'll read
Channel
it.
10 down in.
This is a written report here. Police officers arrested Richard White Boy Wershey, 53, on Tuesday after accusing him of attacking his girlfriend of 4 months during a fight at his condo in Miami's Edgewater neighborhood. The two got in an argument during sex, according to police. When police officers searched Wershey, they found he was in possession of the keys to a Lamborghini, nearly $11,000 in cash, a gold Rolex watch, 2 gold chains, and a set of AirPods, according to the police report, which he must have got paid a whole fucking lot more than I did for that night at Normandie.
So wait a minute, is that stuff illegal, Charlie? I mean, how are they? Tell me, tie this in. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, and we said that. How did he step out after 30 years into this level of economic comfort?
He doing good, man. The weed sales are doing real well. Like, Red's giving him every last nickel.
No, not at all.
No, you're right, Karen. On its surface, it's not illegal. That's just color for the story.
Yeah,
right?
but and
Like
he said that was a
ex-con.
lifet's that he liked.
Yeah.
But,
Well, he loves his Lambos. That's
he
what
said
I got
that.
from,
What did he say? He had 6. So I'm saying, how does somebody stay in jail for 30 years and step out into this?
Well, he's in jail now. The woman who suffered bruises told police officers on Tuesday at the Miami police station that she had waited to report the attack when it happened on Saturday because of her immigration status. While she was at the station on Tuesday, where she rushed in and allegedly took his car keys.
Oh,
I'm assuming those were the ones at the Lambo. So they must have been arguing. And she's like, I'm going to go to the police. He goes, you fucking bitch. And he runs down there in the police
But
station.
remember, he said at the event that he bought his girlfriend a Lamborghini. So maybe that's
the
he
new
said
one.
that.
Well,
yeah.
that's interesting.
He didn't mind that she was going to the police. Is that she was going with the Lambo
With the
keys.
car. Yeah,
Well,
this
She
is
could have
priority.
Ubered there.
See,
Leave the car out of this.
This is how it started. See, while the two were having sex, according to the report, where she uttered another woman's name. Now, I don't know if that was his wife, the woman that was hanging around at Andiamo's, but the girlfriend quickly moved away to get out of bed when he forcefully grabbed her left arm and snatched the diamond bracelet and necklace that he had bought her. Really doing well. She managed to pull away, throw a shoe at him, and miss, but where she caught up to her and punched her, according to the report. There was a witness who reported seeing where she punched his girlfriend in the chest.
So where was the witness?
In the bedroom while
That's
they
what I
were
was saying,
having
like-
sex, and she.
This sounds like the setup for the.
He doing way better than I thought.
I'm surprised he could run to catch up with somebody. He don't look like a runner.
It just sounds like the next episode of the White Boy Rick story.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are making a documentary, so that's some juicy stuff. Maybe somebody was filming it.
That's the third
It
person.
was the documentary. It was the producer.
That was the third person, and that's why they reported it.
It's a low-level documentary. It's a one-man crew or woman. Now, where she was booked and released on $5,000 bond on Wednesday, so he did another.
Was that out of the 11 or an additional
He
from
did
somewhere else?
So he did 32 years and another night. He's faced with charges of robbery by sudden snatching, which is a third-degree felony, and misdemeanor battery charge.
But how is it robbery if you gave her a
is.
gift and then you're taking? No, it's not. If you gave it to her, it's hers.
Right, that's why
it's
he's
robbery.
charged with robbery.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, I got you.
Right, snatching, third degree,
I
sudden
got you.
snatching.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking it the other way around.
Or something like
I
that.
mean, they were having sex, and then he's getting charged with snatching.
All right, Charlie.
It's redundant.
So they're getting charged with snatching.
So did the $5,000
Did you hear him,
bond?
Karen?
No.
Snatch.
So did the $5,000? I'm ignoring him, Mark. Did the $5,000 come out of the 11 that he was found with, or did he have to come up with another 5?
Or he gave him the keys to the
That's what I'm
Lambo,
saying.
keep the change.
He has 6.
He ain't giving that Lambo up.
He got other ones.
Yeah, he said he had 6 of them. Or
And he was in trouble. That's where the car stuff went on with him, right? Down in
Yes.
Florida.
Yep.
So he's already on paper. Oh, Rick, not a good.
My brother got to try L.A. or something.
Right.
You can't
You
see
might
him.
want to leave Florida
Come
alone.
on now.
Miami, bro. That's-
Or is this part of his persona? He's trying to rebuild his brand as the bad boy. He said he likes that lifestyle. So
He doing threesomes and snatching his jewelry back. Oh, this is awesome. The guy's a legend.
It's a snatch and
It
grab.
was a diamond choker.
He thinks he's
friend of
back in
mine.
Detroit on the west side snatching chains.
Except don't be punching, but I mean, the rest of it sounds pretty good. $11 in Lamborghini.
And
you know.
AirPods, like.
You know, like, well, maybe she was Ukrainian. Maybe it goes for that. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Or Bahamian, maybe.
And he
spends a lot of time in the Bahamas.
Oh man, geez.
I'm not gonna even.
Me either.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I wish him well. You know, I mean, I hope he gets that cleared up.
He's fine, Charles. He doesn't need your well wishes.
Yeah, what you doing, bro? Well, you know, I mean, come on. I don't know, man.
But
you know, but he's somebody's son. All right, so it's worthy of love.
Oh, definitely. Just
what does love have to do with this?
It's a transition.
It's transition to Karen, what a show killer.
I knew exactly what you were
I was thinking like, okay.
And somebody loves Red. This is Red's Mother's Day's piece.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
From the Normandie.
You gotta tell me.
We'll fix it in post. We told you in pre. You know, that's why we all talk.
You're all talking so much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Trailers for sale or rent.
Put me out the house, don't divorce me.
For 50 cents. No phone.
All I know is what I got.
No pet.
Started from the bottom now.
Ain't got no cigarettes. For 2 hours of pushing broom by the 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means. King of the road.
Mary, M-A-R-Y, Lovelace, Lovelace.
Okay.
The name was fine. It was just a man. He died.
Then
You
go into
read.
it from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you give me a phone number once? Look at us. Look at that.
I've been living here at the Normandie for quite some time now and been doing things around the Normandie and showing the Normandie or whatever. And I want to say I ain't sure am glad to see you young ladies over here doing y'all thing. Now, can you tell the people exactly who y'all are and what y'all do in the community?
Well, we're with Gateway Community Organization, and so we're part of the beautification committee. And so that's our job, to come out and make things look better so that people will want to come and live in our community. And we've been in existence for more than 50 years.
Now, we are sitting here with your mom, Miss Dolores. How long have you been a part of the Block Club community? Were you here when it started?
Yes, I was with the group to start when they started.
Miss Larkin's been a faithful worker.
Yeah.
Nothing gets her down. She keep going. We're going to be out this weekend doing stuff in the community.
Yes,
Keep
the
it up.
Motor City, the Motor City. We're going to plant more flowers. We're going to clean alleys between Oakland and Brush and just make our area better.
You have to keep doing things, you know, to help. When we get one side cleaned up, then we'll try to do another side the next time we get Motor City help.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Over 50 years, y'all been serving the community. I'm sure all of you ladies have seen changes and different things go on in the neighborhood. How was it when you moved in or as you grew up over here over the 50 years ago?
Well, it was just home 50 years ago because everybody watched over one another. We all played together because, again, I was little. The gym was open. We grew up. We learned.
Blessed Sacrament had a gym that the kids could go and play in and stuff.
Yes,
And
we had houses that we would congregate in. You know how you would do, and you know.
Your mama can whoop my kid. I can whoop their kid. You can't do that now.
Say the Block of Whooper program. I was a part of one of those too.
Yeah, we had those pants that say, and you know to be quiet.
That's right. That's right.
So I take it all of you ladies, young ladies, have raised children over here. Mother's Day is coming up.
Yes. Already got my flowers already.
I got my sons gave me mine today. They came and cut my grass.
Say that's the Mother's Day
That's
gift.
a Mother's Day gift. They don't need to have to do nothing else. That's a blessing.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I did a little asking around and I found out, and I believe y'all told me when I first met y'all, that y'all work, the Normandy works alongside with y'all.
Correct.
So are they a part of the association?
Yes.
Do they help contribute?
Well, yes, we put the flyers and Stuart posted in there so that individuals can come and participate with us.
You just about said it, you know, if we can keep y'all standing in front of that door and let us old ladies walk by without being afraid, you know what I'm saying. Y'all just stand in front of there and we have to go out in the street. We're going to get hit by a bus one day.
Do you feel that a lot of the tenants at the Normandy are pretty much respectful to the neighbors in the neighborhood?
Never had no problem with them.
We do know that this Saturday, May 13th, is Motor City Match. Y'all will be working on cleaning up the alleyways. Where are those alleyways again, so people know?
Rosedale and Inglewood, between Oakland and Brush.
So y'all gonna get out there in the alleys, make sure the trash up, the debris and whatnot. Now, when it's not Motor City Match, how often do y'all maintenance the garden signs that are around the community?
Well, we strategize our,
The three of us will check it and see if the paper, debris. I only found one whiskey bottle this time, but before they used to be just throw them in there. Now they recognize and don't do that anymore.
And the flowers and the paint and the signs, do this all come out of you young ladies' pockets? Do y'all get any funding, or is it just something y'all do out of love, out of your own pocket?
A lot of it is love, but we're also trying, 98, but we're trying to also encourage young people, middle-aged people, even older people, you know, how to write grants and what have you. Come on out, help us, join us.
If you want to get in touch with any of these beautiful young ladies to volunteer your time, help out, like they said, sometimes you just need a person that can write a grant or whatever. These are mothers of the community trying to help keep the community safe, clean.
And their children.
Right. So, and that's the unselfishness of mothers. It's Mother's Day coming up, so think about that. If you want to reach out to these young ladies, you can Google them, the Old North End Gateway Community Organization, Inc. If you, again, Old North End Gateway Community Organization, reach out to these young ladies. Everybody need a little help. The city, I guess the city gonna do what they gonna do, right? We ain't gonna start that. But is there anything y'all like to say to the mothers for Mother's Day before we get out of here?
Happy Mother's Day, all you beautiful ladies.
Means by no means king of the road.
I like that. I noticed how she wouldn't let you go, Red. So did she give you her number, or did she remember that she had yours?
No, the Red she was speaking on, I guess, is a handyman around the neighborhood, had given her a number to do some work or whatnot. But they was all sweet. I loved it.
That was
I had
a nice
good
piece.
time with them, and they all from there been over there, and they trying to keep it together. We didn't show it because we kind of putting it together, but I asked them about JP Chase Morgan. Chase is over there
because it's on right next door.
Did they come down to that end and offer them any of the community funds to help bring the neighborhood back? And they said no. Everything they do is pretty much them.
Way to end that on a high note, man.
But no,
I'm just saying.
But that's a reality, though, Charlie. I mean, because when you talk about native Detroiters trying to hold on to what they have, that's part of it. Those dollars go to where they want it to go to attract and retain new residents, and forgetting about the people who've been here.
And my only point is to that, not to be on a down note, is 101 Detroiters around doing just that, and they do it out of love. And they do it for the love of the city.
And you don't lift a goddamn finger, do you?
Well, I will actually be going out Saturday morning with them. I said Motor City matching the piece.
Motor City Makeover.
Motor City Makeover. So Saturday morning, they're doing theirs between 9 a.m. and 12. Me and my brother will actually be going out with and helping them. We told them we will be out there Saturday. So,
lovely. Now,
yes.
Now, I can call my favorite old lady my old lady. Hey, Ma, you there?
Yes, I am.
How are you?
And you correct, I am old.
Yeah, you're ancient.
She's not old.
Oh, she's ancient. She's
Yes,
a
I am.
lizard.
No, you're not old. You're seasoned. You're not old.
My mother's so old that her middle name is
Charlie.
I don't mind the term old. I think you earn it, and it's great. Not one that bothers me.
What you doing?
Except when I cramp up in the garden.
Are you in the garden?
I just came in, honey.
Look at all the old ladies that are doing gardening. What'd you put in, Ma?
Puts things in perspective. Well, let me see. I put in 3 different varieties of tomatoes, and that's about it for the produce. And then I put in quite a few annuals, cosmos, petunias, mums, and just an assortment because I'm hoping that the perennials take over, and I don't want to stuff any more in there. Does that help you?
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't there to help. I'll bring the saw over and get that branch out of your wires this weekend, okay?
Actually, it's pretty good. They got it.
They got it out of there.
Yeah, there's just a few little extended twigs, but they've been in this place like crazy.
Oh, good, because your power keeps going out, and that's the reason why. So finally, well, that's good.
Actually, these are telephone wires.
Oh, those are that's a telephone wire.
Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre. There's so many you can't tell, but yeah, they're phone wires.
No, that one over your garage, Mom. That's your power.
No, I know that one. No, that's cleared.
Okay, good.
So it's good.
All right. Well, what are you doing for Mother's Day?
Gardening.
Are you having all your kids and their families over?
Nope. In fact, I debated the garden or the art institute, and I don't know. It just depends if somebody stops in, honey. And if they stop in and I'm in the garden, I'm here. And if they stop in, I'm not. I'm at the art institute.
Well, that's not helping because I'm trying to avoid them. So I'm trying to get in there.
I understand that.
Give you some chocolates. Oh, hey, Mom. Last thing here. We were just looking up some taxes and stuff, right? Just because there's like property taxes, because there's some ne'er-do-wells here in the city that have big jobs that don't seem to be paying their fair share. So I was like, let me just check my mom, see what my mom's paying. Seems reasonable, I guess. But Billy's on the deed now. What's going on there? Are you giving the house to Billy?
Son.
Hear me?
What'd you say?
I said I'm having difficulty understanding your words.
That's how you do it.
Not that I just messing around, Mom.
Oh, that comes with old age too.
Yeah. I love you, and I'll see you this weekend. If you need anything, call.
I shall, honey, and nice to hear your voice.
You too. Bye.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Oh, your mom sounds so sweet.
My mom's the
She sounds like she didn't take any crap though at all.
The only bad thing you can say about my mom is her taste in men.
Well,
me and my brother, we got 2 different dads, and we were drinking. We called her, and I said, "Hey, Mom, who was better looking, my dad or Frankie's dad?" And she goes, "Your dad." I can look at Frankie and I go, "Ma, who fucked better?"
Charlie. Now, why are you going to kill a nice, innocent Mother's Day moment?
How do you think you become a mother, Karen?
But you don't have. Anyway, what's next, Mark? Fix that in post, please.
Let's get out of here. But let me call. Let's call Alec back. See if he got me
about
a
your quote.
Yeah, let's see if he's got it.
Oh my God.
What was it? About a half hour?
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, you there? Hey, man, you got a quote for me?
Yes, sir.
What is it? How much? Just for the summer.
So it would be for the roads to be paying full $216 for the year.
$216 for the entire year.
Yep.
Money lock me in. You the man, dude. Later. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. You can call Legacy Insurance, 586-209-4106. 200. That's real good. That's real nice. Thank you, Alex. He won't stop calling.